I thank you for welcoming me today. I'm as Dr. Victoria J. Hart, and I want to thank people for tuning in today and taking your time to listen to the message today will be on limitlessness. In Proverbs 4:23, it's quoted saying, "Keep your heart with all diligence, for from it flows the springs of life," unquote. Do you have a sense of limitlessness with regard to yourself, your work, your talents, your abilities, your potential, and what can you accomplish with your life? Limitlessness has been described as the sense that there are no boundaries to what we can do, be, or become. Limitlessness is an awareness that fills our minds when we know that our evolution is never ending and that our potential for growth reaches to infinity. Do we start learning the lesson of limitlessness when we begin to transcend boundaries that may exist in our minds when our minds are enthusiastically seeking and never dying? Could one of our challenges in life be to uncover the unexpressed infinite potential from within? As Cherie Carter Scott stated in her book, "If Life is a Game, These Are the Rules," she is quoted by saying, quote, "All is within your reach. Know your limits, not so what you can honor them, but so that you can smash them into pieces and reach for your magnificence," unquote. So yes, how do we begin to reach for our magnificence? Do the first steps begin with an active and questing mind, with a mind that is curious, diligent, and purposeful? The proverb quote, "An idle brain is the devil's workshop," unquote, offers considerable food for thought. For example, can an excessive entertainment dwarf our life? What is occurring with our thinking processes while we are being entertained? Can 6 hours of watching television daily be a poisonous narcotic? If your mind isn't directed to some kind of learning or mental challenge, can it be lax and less effective and efficient? Could a person brainwashed by television drama become susceptible to negative and non-productive thoughts that could lead to painful situations in life? What about fear? Could it lead to anger, crime? Let's look at the sports picture for an example. Stories about the meaningful accomplishments of many athletes who participate in various sports. But could excessive watching others participate in sports distract the observer from his or her own exercise or accomplishments? Would the mind be more active and responsive in participating than just observing? This does not intend to exclude an appropriate balance between leisure and activity. Can physical and mental well-being take a downturn when a healthy, productive person is required to retire? In the United States, some corporate and government pensions plans may encourage or require a productive worker to retire after age 65. Considering the greater longevity of individuals attributed to medical and technological progress, can a person who is, quote, "put on the shelf," unquote, while in the prime of his or her productive life become a parasite? Would people retain their mental agility longer if they were able to continue working? How many times do we hear from someone retiring and in a few years that person dies or becomes ill because life is no longer has a focus or meaningful purpose? Purpose produces productivity, while early retirement can produce unhealthy parasites. Could meaningful benefits be achieved by allowing all earnings after 65 to become tax exempt? What incentives can be developed from retirement age people to contribute to meaningful to their community, to their nation, and to their humanity as a whole? The questions may arise. What do these thoughts have to do with spiritual principles and lessons from world religions? Well, if divinity is infinite, then everything helps us understand divinity, especially when humans' lives are involved. Could Proverbs 16:4 quote, "The Lord has made everything for a purpose," unquote, indicate the importance of all aspects of life? Could consideration along these lines of thoughts give humans the benefits and joy of more productive and fruitful lives? Is the people who wrote the ancient scriptures were writing them today, would they have a different focus because they would conceive of God as vastly greater than the possible thousands of years ago? Is it wisdom to seek adventures of greater enrichment for everyone regardless of age? I know in the Dhammapada it states, quote, "You see a wise man who steers you away from the wrong path, follow him as you would one who could reveal hidden treasures. Only good can come out of it," unquote. An active mind can view any and all obstacles as lessons, not as indications of failure. When anything appears to be an obstacle, the active mind can search for solutions. In closing, in a film about his boyhood, Albert Einstein describes picking up a compass and watching in fascination as the needle moved when he turned in different directions. He stated that he became obsessed with understanding the invisible force that moved this compass needle. Where was the force located, he wondered. Who is controlling it, he thought. Why did it always work? And what was it made of? Were there places where it didn't operate? These are the natural questions of an inquiring genius, not of an idle mind. And we all know that brilliance is related to Albert Einstein. Imagine if he sat around and was idle and never asked these questions of the compass. Where would our knowledge be today? So I trust that you will pick up your heart and your mind and meditate on your purpose and your reason for being, and you will follow that path with all your heart and never let it go. Because people like me are waiting to hear what you've discovered, what you're learning, and what you are ready to teach. I look forward to it. Thank you for tuning in. I ask that you have a divine day and be blessed.